corkscrew, but traffic. Lure now able to get by. Johnny goes down underneath with him. Now, Lure just stays left. If he didn't, it was over. Johnny was going to come through, and Lure reading that traffic. Now, oh man, I'll tell you, Lucas Lure on these restarts and up into the corkscrew is fantastic.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? I mean, 3 weeks ago at Long Beach, Lucas Lure was he got out of the car just 15 minutes into the race. He had to hand it over to Klaus Graf to finish it off. That strategic call won the race effectively for Muscle Milk Picket Racing. This time around, though, Lucas Lure, boy, is he getting his own back. He's done a fantastic drive. 2 brilliant passes up at the corkscrew, and once again, it's the Muscle Milk Picket Racing car number 6 that has the advantage. But for how long?
Oh boy, Johnny
great
getting
race.
Yeah, great run into 5, and Lure getting boxed behind the Corvette. Now swings out, and Johnny just not able to do anything with it at this point. Through 6 up the hill. There's the Delta Wing up in front of these 2 cars. Big blue flag flying. Lure knifes by, as does Johnny.
Good to see the Delta Wing back out there, by the way. It's a lot of laps down, but it's certainly completed the 88 laps. So since those early delays, it seems to be running fairly nicely, which is good news for Catherine Legge and Andy Merritt to get some time into that car. But here is the battle for the lead overall, and in P1, Lucas Lure just ahead of Neil Jarley, but not by very much.
Andy Merritt doing a brilliant job of letting both those cars get through without any issues. In a pretty tricky spot of the track. Nicely done. Lure down into the Andretti hairpin. Ooh, Johnny a little bit wide in, but just changed the angle of that second apex. He's right there, and there is a group of challenge cars right in front of them that they are coming up on, and they're going to catch these guys heading up into 6.
Yeah, great stuff. But, you know, tremendous battles in pretty much all the classes. Actually, even in P2, it's Marino Franchitti ahead of Scott Tucker, the 551 ahead of the 552. I don't think that's really going to end up in much of a battle, because Marino certainly has the speed on Scott Tucker. But in all the other classes, just tremendous. 4 cars battling away in PC, 6 cars battling away in GT, and 7 in GTC. And it looks like number 10 car must have made a pit stop, I think, because all of a sudden it went from leading during that caution to the tail end of that group. So it's now Damien Faulkner who's taken over the lead, but now he's just been passed by Andy Lally in the number 27 for Patrick Dempsey and Alessandro Del Piero. Down to left, turn 11.
Oh, that was a big show of the lights by Mr. Johnny, and but there's that lap car there that he just really couldn't do anything with it. Once again, this is just brilliant stuff that's unfolding right now as we are coming up on 43 minutes remaining. And again, you see a couple of little different looks to taking that Andretti hairpin. There are a couple of different lines you can run down there, and these guys are exploiting every one of them. And again, never ending in multi-class sports car racing, part of that wonderful game of high-speed chess that we talk about. That traffic, you get through a group and you got to do it all again. And Lure comes through, and Johnny this time not going to be able to get him in, but times it nicely, is able to get through, but that does give Lucas 2-3 car lengths. And right now, that's everything.
Yeah, that won't last very long.
No.
Going up the hill here, they'll find some more traffic, if not at the corkscrew, then farther round the lap. And there is the leader in PC as well, coming down the corkscrew now. Colin Brown about 15 car lengths ahead of Luis Diaz, and then we've got the 2 overall leaders, and then I don't know, about another 2 or 3 seconds behind that, the 3rd place car in PC for Bruno Junqueira, and about 3 seconds behind him is Kyle Marcelli for Bar 1 Motorsports. So no word yet from race control about that incident involving number 05 car that brought out that previous caution period.
Wow, this is just great stuff. Here comes Lure coming up on Colin Brown, the LMP Challenge Bicontinental class leader. Lure is through, and Johnny going to try and get him now here into turn 3. They cleared that little bit, and Colin Brown now can focus on staying in front of the very quick Luis Diaz in that number 52 car that is running up behind him as we are closing in on 40 minutes remaining in this race. Diaz through 5. There's Johnny. Colin Brown and Lucas Lure leading them all the way up the hill. Here are your class leaders. We're going to step away for just a moment, and one more time, the drivers say hi to Mom.